When he reminded me there in the office in Ohio, at my office there, he reminded me about the counseling. He put it on my heart to talk to Pastor Dennis Mullet, who is the pastor at a church there in Holmes County. And so one Labor Day weekend, I pulled Dennis aside and I said, "Dennis, I have a question I want to ask you sometime, if you have a moment." He said, "Sure, let's go off to the side here." And we go off to the side, and he said, "Jason," he said, "before you ask your question, there's something that I have been meaning to ask you, and I don't want to forget my opportunity and forget the question." And I said, "Well, what's that?" And Dennis looked at me and he said, "If you would ever do something other than what you're doing with Gospel Express, would you consider starting a counseling ministry?" And my mouth just dropped. I looked at Dennis. I thought the ground around me was going to open up and swallow both of us up. I looked at Dennis and I said, "Dennis, that's the very question I wanted to ask you is, do you see the need for a counseling ministry?" And that's where the whole vision started. It was the birth to a seed in 1991 that came alive that Labor Day weekend. And then from there, the board got behind us. The Gospel Express board, we put another board together to serve and give us direction. And here's the other thing I learned through all of that. Jesus said, and here's a biblical principle. It's a kingdom principle that I have learned through my experience. If a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it abides alone. But if it dies and comes back to life, it brings forth much fruit. And that is what you're going to be hearing about in the stories going forward, is all the fruit that, it's not because of us. It's just simply because of being obedient to a call and to a seed that He put in our heart. And honey, we wouldn't trade it if we had to.